You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 31st of October 2025. It is 39 days after the fall equinox. It is 51 days before the winter solstice. Today is Halloween. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 10th day of Brumaire, the day of the charrue, the plow. The sun rises today at 7:25 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:39 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:53 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 6:21 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6:53 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 23 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 71% full at midday. The full moon will arrive on Wednesday, the 5th of November. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the morning, high tide, 6:12 a.m., 1 meter 34. In the afternoon, low tide, 12:17 p.m., 24 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 6:30 p.m., 1 meter 40. In our shared realm of plants and animals, oysters. Once they were a signature species in New York City, freely taken from the waters in the harbor and all along Long Island. And in the 19th century, they were a popular street food. But pollution took its toll, and the last oyster reef in the harbor in Raritan Bay was closed in 1927. There is a small wild population up the Hudson in the Tappan Zee, and of course they thrive further out on the island, toward the East End. The Billion Oyster Project has 17 sites around the estuary where it is reintroducing oyster reefs. They've partnered with local restaurants to collect oyster and clam shells, ideal substrates for oyster young'uns. But consider this. While oysters are extremely useful for purifying the waters, the oyster reefs will still not produce an edible oyster for the next 100 years. Commemorations. On this day in 1913, the Lincoln Highway was dedicated. It was one of the first highways in the United States designed specifically for automobiles. It crossed the entire continent, beginning at Times Square in New York and terminating at Lincoln Park in San Francisco. The dawn of the automobile era. Events that shaped our world. On this day in 1917, the British War Cabinet published the Balfour Declaration. World War I was in full swing, and British and Arab forces were in the course of conquering Palestine from the Ottoman Empire. Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, had written the declaration in support of what he referred to as a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. That fateful declaration was instrumental in setting in motion the conflict that endures to this day in Israel and Palestine. On this day in 1956, the last trolley line in Brooklyn was closed. It ran down McDonald Avenue from near Greenwood Cemetery to Gravesend near Coney Island. Trolleys had been such a key part of the borough's infrastructure that they gave the Brooklyn Dodgers their name, the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers. In Astoria, the last trolley lines, the Steinway Street, 31st Street, Vernon Boulevard, and Broadway lines, had all closed in the fall of 1939. On this day in 1992, the Roman Catholic Church issued an apology for its persecution of the astronomer Galileo Galilei. In 1615, his heliocentric model of our planetary system had attracted the attention of the Roman Inquisition, and his treatise on the subject was placed on the index of banned books. He was ordered not to hold, teach, or defend heliocentrism in any way whatever, either orally or in writing. In 1992, the Roman Church acknowledged that our planet does, in fact, orbit the sun, and it had done Galileo a great wrong. The Village Halloween Parade takes place tonight. It began on October 31st, 1974, the brainchild of puppeteer and mask maker Ralph Lee. It is a highlight of the New York year and an especially valued part of New York's queer community. The parade starts at Canal Street on 6th Avenue and goes up 6th to 15th Street. Anyone wearing a costume may join the parade, which is part of what gives it its open-spirited and democratic appeal. Happy Halloween to everyone. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 31st of October, 2025.